What is up, guys? Emmanuel Jones here. We back in with another NFL record prediction, and this time we'll be doing our NFL record prediction for Week 5. So yeah, and last week I went 11-5, which I did really good last week, and then my record for overall record is 35-28, which that's pretty good. So anyway, before I get to my record predictions for for Week 5, don't forget to put the thumbs up to like the video, subscribe to my channel for more options. And don't forget to comment down in the pane below to see who you think will win this week. But anyways, I chose the Broncos to win 26-24, and they lost 12-9, which I only got one wrong this time. So, by the way, we're going to get started with the rest of the games. All right. First game, we have the New York Giants versus the Green Bay Packers. Packers are -8 in this game. I'm going to keep this one a little short now. I believe this game is going to be fun to watch. Now, this can definitely go either way, though, because here's the thing. Because this game's in London, I'm looking towards to see which offense is going to be able to score lots of points. Because here's the thing. The Giants are really underrated this year. I mean, their defense is very solid. I mean, they looked it really well versus the Bears. But Daniel Jones could be questionable to play, but I don't really know if he's going to play yet. But you know what? The offense looked it really good last week. And the Packers looked it fine. They almost didn't look pretty good against the Patriots, but they was able to get through and all that. So yeah, I think this game is probably gonna be fun to watch here and there. So yeah. But I think we can definitely see the Giants defense give the Packers offense tons of issues, like, force Rodgers to hold on to the ball and force them to go down. They're going to force them to go down the field and all that. I mean, we can see that happening, but, I know his game's not in Green Bay, but I think the Packers are just a more slightly better team and have the better quarterback and also have the better coach when they're at home. So, yeah. So, I believe against Don Martin's defense, LaFleur will have a better good game plan. And I just think that Rodgers is going to be too much. And I think this defense is very tough. I just don't think the Giants are going to move the ball against that Packers defense, especially that Packers defense is underrated. I mean, we see what they did last week. I mean, their defense played a lot better than the offense because the offense did not look feisty last week. So, yeah. So I expect the Packers to win this game, but I think it will be close. Because I don't know who will cover. But my score predictions for the Packers and Giants game, I say it could be a little bit of a low-scoring game because Packers can't really score 30 points in this game due to their number one receiver. But I think because, the young receivers are getting along with each other, yeah. So, yeah, I think it will be close, but I'm going to say the Packers win like 23-19, much more of like a 4-point game. So, yeah. So, I think the Packers will win. So, I see them getting close. So, I'm just going to at least go ahead and just take the Packers to win. I'm just going to go ahead and just say the Packers will win, but I'll take the Giants to cover to keep it close. Next game, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo's favored by 14. I mean, that's a big number. By this way, I believe last year this game is when the Steelers really beat them last year due to that defense. But they don't. But you know what? They don't got T.J. Watt right now. So I think we could expect the Bills' offensive line, to play really good, and I feel like they're gonna do a good job blocking this game. And I think they're going to do good run the ball against the Steelers defense. Plus, the Steelers defense has not looked at really good against without TJ Watt. I mean, last week, Mr. Trubisky looked at terrible. And then the rookie looked at terrible when coming in the game. And they really blew this game as well. So, yeah. So, there's no way I'm going to take Pittsburgh to win. I mean, trust me. I mean, they're not going to beat the Bills 2 times in a row. I mean, trust me. Bills, I mean, I believe the Bills are easily going to win because here's the thing. The reason why I think the Bills will win is because I don't trust the Steelers right now because their offense is not looking good and the defense, is completely overrated. And it's not really good without TJ Watt. So, yes. I just don't think the Steelers are going to be able to keep up with the Bills because I just think the Bills are way too good. Well, we understand last week that they looked at kind of terrible and then they came back on the Ravens and win. But I expect the Bills defense to have a good game plan. I expect them to get pressure. And plus, their secondary, I believe they're going to do a good job, covering the Steelers receiving core. I mean, Tre'Davious White should be back for this game, so he should be able to cover Deontay Johnson. And then you got the rookie who I think who can really cover Claypool, and then you got Jordan Poyer as your only safety who can cover, Pat Fairmouth. So yeah, so I think they're gonna do a good job stopping the run and game pressure. So yeah, and plus, the Steelers' offensive line is not good at blocking as well. So yeah, so I believe the Bills are just a more complete team, and they have the better quarterback. They're at home, and then there's the more complete team. So I'm gonna say the Bills are gonna win this game by a lot of points. I'm gonna say the Bills win like 34-17. So I got the Bills winning, and I got the Bills covering. All right, next game we have the LA Chargers versus the Cleveland Browns. Chargers are favored by 2.5. Now, I'm going to keep this one a little short, though. Now, I believe this game right here can definitely go either way, though. Yes, I mean, the Chargers did win last week. They did a really good job defensively. They was able to at least, stop the Texans' running game, force them into some bad situations. I mean, yeah, and then the Browns, they did pretty good last week, but they just blew this game to the Falcons. So, yeah. I mean, this game can definitely go either way, though, but the bad news is that Joey Bosa is going to be out for a while, but I really don't care if he's out or not. Because if Brandon Stanley doesn't go stud after stud after stud, and if he doesn't have Joey Bosa in the lineup, they're going to get ran over. So, yeah, I mean, I don't really think they're going to get ran over a lot, but I'd say maybe a little bit they do. So, yeah. And I believe their secondary is going to play the pass a lot good because they played the pass really good. So I think the Browns, because I just think that the Browns are going to have a tough time, moving the ball against the Chargers defense. And I believe Brandon Stanley is going to have a good game plan against. He's going to do a good job shutting down Stefanski's offense. And I don't really know if the Browns are going to be able to do enough to keep up. I mean, if long Jacoby Brissett plays really good, then I think they can keep this one close. But I don't really know. But the Browns can match up well with the Chargers really good because they have a great secondary and a great pass rush as well. That can give the Chargers a lot offense a lot of problems. But I just don't think I just kind of feel like that the Browns defense might get ran over a little bit because the Chargers offensive line, even without their left tackle, is very strong. So I feel like they can be able to run the ball on the Browns because they was able to do that versus the Texans last week. So, yes. I know it's in Cleveland, but I'm just going to go with the Chargers here because I just feel like the Chargers are just a more complete team and have the better quarterback in this game. So, yeah. And I think they will do a good job slowing down Nick Chubb as well. And I think they'll still get pressure too. So, yeah. So, I'm going to take the Chargers to win, but in terms of the points, I might go with the Browns to cover this game, but I don't know. I'm going to say the Chargers win like 24-20, something like that. So, yeah. So, I'm just going to go ahead and just like take the Chargers to win. But I might just go ahead and just take the Browns to cover. I mean, the Chargers covered last week, but I don't know about the Browns covering. That's kind of tough. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and just say the Chargers cover this game. So I'm going to say the Chargers win and the Chargers cover. All right, next game we have the Chicago Bears versus the Minnesota Vikings. Vikings are favored by 7. Now, this is kind of a lot of points. Now, I'm going to keep this one a little short, though, because here's the thing. Minnesota is a tough place to play at, though, because their stadium is underrated, and it's how it's built to play in. And also, the Bears, have a bad offensive line, which, the Bears, I can't trust the Bears. I mean, they suck. Because all of their offense runs, they only just do one read and one pray. I mean, Justin Fields only looks up like to the read, but I don't really know what he does. Because all the offensive line is doing, they can't really block anybody. And they can't even move the ball on anybody. And they can't really pass the ball on anybody. Like for real, I mean, think about this. I mean, Justin Fields has not been accurate. I mean, he's been looking bad lately. I mean, think about this. He can't even throw the ball for like over 200 yards. All he does, he only gets 100 yards. Oh, he only gets like below 200 yards a game. Because last week, he only had 174 yards. So, yeah. I mean, there's no way I can take the Bears. And especially their defense sucks. And I believe that Kirk Cousins is going to have a good game here. Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen are going to go off like crazy. Even KJ Osborne can. I mean, the Vikings wide receiver trio is gonna be. I mean, those guys are just gonna be tough to cover. Dalvin Cook, I mean, he's gonna have a good game here. So yeah. So I mean, who do you got to cover? Cover them? Nobody. I mean, the Vikings, they're going to easily win this game because they're at home. They have the better quarterback. And I like their coaching more than I like the Bears coaching. So, yeah. And they're just a better team and they're at home. I'm taking the Vikings to win, but they'll easily cover this game. I mean, I say the Vikings win 27-16. So I say the Vikings win and the Vikings cover. Next game, we have the Detroit Lions versus the New England Patriots. Patriots are favored by 3. I'm going to keep this one a little bit short now. Now, here's the thing. Now, we already heard the news as that, Mac Jones could be questionable to play this game because he's a little banged up right now. But I don't really know if he's going to play because they said he was limited in practice yet. He's been limited in practice a little week, so I think he might be able to play. But here's the thing. Lots of people are betting on the Lions because of Mac Jones not playing, but I don't really care who's playing. I don't care if it's Bailey Zapp, Matt Castle. I mean, I don't know I don't care who's going to play in this game. I mean, the Patriots are going to win because they're at home and, they have the better coaching. And I just think they're just the better team. I mean, I just don't see Bill Belichick going 1-4. Like, that's kind of stupid to say. Like, it's kind of crazy. I just don't think they're going to go 1-4. So, yeah. I mean, I mean, the Patriots offensively, they're going to move the ball in Detroit. They're going to pass the ball really good. And I believe this defense is going to, like, at least slow down the Lions' rushing attack. And I think they can stop their passing game. They're playing against Jared Goff, who, you know, Jared Goff is kind of inaccurate, though. But here's the thing. The Lions looked really good versus Seahawks until they blew that game. But, I mean, we could definitely see the Lions hang around in this game. But I just feel like the Patriots might get ran over because their defense doesn't really do a good job, you know, like stopping the run or maybe the pass very well. So, yeah. But I'm going to say it's going to be close, but I'm going to say the Patriots win. But I'm going to say it's going to be close because I think the Lions will hang around this game. I mean, as long as Jared Goff plays very good, I think they can hang around. So I'm going to go ahead and just take the Lions to cover and take the Patriots to win. That's how I see it. So just give me the Patriots to win and give me the Lions to cover. Next game, we have the Seattle Seahawks versus New Orleans Saints. Saints are favored by 5.5. That's almost a big number. I'm going to keep this one a little bit short because here's the thing. This can definitely go either way because here's the thing. Because now we already know that the Saints aren't looking good this year. I mean, here's the thing. They almost beat the Vikings last week, and they should have won that game. The reason why they lost that game because they failed to make a 60-yard field goal, which they should have won that game though. But here's the thing. Their defense is a little overrated right now. Like, I don't really know if they can stop a nosebleed. Like, I just don't know if they can really stop anybody. So yeah, and then plus you got the offense that's getting washed and not giving up big plays. I mean, Dennis Allen needs to get back to the drawing board because he's letting his team down and he's really not coaching good. Like, he's going to have to figure his way how to coach his team up. But now we heard the news that Jameis is out and then Michael Thomas is out. Now, I know they have a few injuries though, but I don't really care about the injury because here's the thing. The Seahawks the Seahawks stink. I mean, they suck. I mean, I know they won against the Lions last week, but they suck. I mean, I just don't really think the Seahawks are that good. I mean, their offensive line is atrocious. Their defensive line is bad, and then their secondary is kind of bad. So I think that kind of gives the Saints an opportunity to move the ball against them. And I think they can find a way to and I think their defense can find a way to get pressure and find a way to slow down their running game. And I think their secondary, I think they can do a good job locking down the Seahawks receivers. I mean, we can see Lashar Manalore locked down. We can see him covering DK. And then we can definitely see Bradley Roby cover Lockett. So, yeah. And then Tyrann Mathieu can cover Noah Fant. So, yeah, that's how I see the matchup going. So, I don't want to pick the Seahawks to win because Seattle, I mean, both these two teams don't have a quarterback, though. But both of these teams are playing against bridge quarterbacks. It's Geno Smith versus Andy Dalton. But Andy Dalton looked really good versus the Saints until they lost this game. But here's the thing. Since this game's in New Orleans, I'm taking the Saints to win. But I will not take the Saints to cover because I can't trust them to cover right now because of how bad they're playing. But you know, they stay competitive. They stayed competitive last week versus the Vikings, but they just blew it due to a missed field goal. So, yeah. So, I believe Andy Dalton's I think the Saints offense does a good game, and I think their defense has a good game as well, too. So, yeah. And also, they're at home, and they're just a more complete team. So I'm gonna take the Saints to win, but I will say the Seahawks do cover this game. But it will be closer. But I'm gonna say the Saints win like 23-16, something like that. So yeah, much more closer than we expected to. So yeah. So give me the Saints to win, but the Seahawks to cover. Next game, we have the New York Jets versus the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins are -3. Now we're gonna keep this one a little short now. Now here's the thing. Well, we already heard the news that Tua's not gonna play this week, but we know they got Teddy Bridgewater. They got Teddy Two Gloves, wherever you call him. He's gonna be playing though. But you know what? Last week when he played, he didn't really look good against the Bengals. But I feel like this is a game where I think he's gonna look good. And plus, here's the thing: their offense is extremely underrated. Their defense is underrated. I mean, they really do a good job stopping the run and stopping the pass really good. And their offensive line do a good job blocking and running the ball. But the thing is with the Jets, I mean, the Jets are terrible. Like, they can't even move the ball on anybody. Like, here's the thing. I mean, last week, they did a good job moving the ball against the Steelers last week. I mean, Zach Wilson looked really good against the Steelers defense. And plus, the Jets defense looked really good, and their offense looked fine. But, you know what? I kind of had it mixed up for some reason because I thought this game was in New York. I thought it was in Miami, but it won't be in Miami until later on. So I'm going to switch it up a little bit. So, there you go. That's much better. So, it doesn't, I mean, I want to take the Jets to win because they have the healthy quarterback, but I don't really care if Tua's playing or not because the Dolphins, I mean, I'm going to have to take Miami. I mean, Miami is just way too good right now. I mean, their offense is too explosive right now. I mean, Tyreek Hill is going to go off, and Jalen Waddle is going to go off, and both their running backs are going to go off as well. So, yeah, I mean, the Jets are just going to get ran on in this game. So, I don't think the Jets are going to do enough to keep up. So, but I wouldn't be shocked they kept it close as well. But I just kind of have a feeling that the Dolphins are going to win this game because they're just a more complete team. They're at home. And I like their coaching more than I like the Jets coach. I mean, Mike McDaniel has been doing a good job coaching his teams up, coaching the players up. I mean, yeah. So I'm going to take the Dolphins to win, but I'm going to take the Dolphins to cover. So I say the Dolphins win like 27-13, something like that. So, yeah. So give me the Dolphins to win and give me the Dolphins to cover. Next game, we have the Atlanta Falcons versus Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Bucs are favored by 9.5. I'm going to keep this one a little bit short now. Now, last week, the Bucs did not look that good against the Kansas City Chiefs. Because here's the thing. The Chiefs defense did a really good job, stopping the Bucs running game, stopping their passing game really good. They was able to hold them off. I mean, they kept the Bucs out of the end zone. I mean, Spagnuolo's been doing a good job coaching this team up, coaching their defense up, and some of their young players they're starting to get better now. I mean, offensively, they're starting to look pretty good. I mean, Patrick Mahomes looked really good against that Bucs defense. Travis Kelce was going off. A lot of receivers went off. So, yeah. I like how the Chiefs are doing right now. But the Bucs are kind of on a losing streak, and the Falcons are not. But you know what? The Falcons, I mean, I can't take the Falcons because the Falcons suck. I mean, I don't know who's starting at quarterback because Mariota sucks. Offensive line sucks. The defense sucks. Special teams is kind of bad. I mean, I'm going to have to take the Bucs in this game because the Bucs are at home. They're the better team. They have the better quarterback. and I believe they have the better coaching as well. So yeah. So I believe this game is gonna be a blowout in this game. So I got the Bucks easily winning and Bucks easily covering this game. I'm gonna say they win like 34 to like 13. I'm gonna say Tom Brady goes for at least like 4 touchdowns in this game. So yeah. So give me the Bucks to win and the Bucks to cover. Next game, we have the Tennessee Titans versus the Washington Commanders. The Tennessee Titans are favored by 2.5. I'm gonna keep this one a little bit short because here's the thing. I meant to call it a trap game for some reason because here's the thing. Both of these two teams have a really good defensive line, but both of their offensive lines are a little sketchy now. Because I love what the Titans did last week against the Colts. I mean, they found a way to slow down the run. They was able to at least hold off the Colts. They was able to force the Colts in some tough situations. And Tannehill, he's playing really good right now. So, yeah. So, the Titans could definitely be the best team in that division this year. So, yeah. I mean, I felt bad for saying that they were going to go 8-9 or 7-10, but they almost don't really feel like because Tennessee's putting their heart and soul on this team. And they're playing with heart right now. So, yeah. While the Washington Commanders, I can't really trust the Washington Commanders right now because here's the thing. The offensive line is not looking pretty good. Carson Wentz is looking terrible. And the defense is extremely overrated. They can't really stop the run. They can't really get pressure. And they can't really stop the pass very good. So, yeah. So, I believe Washington could definitely have the worst defense in the NFL. But here's the thing. I mean, we could definitely see them doing a good job slowing down the run, but I just don't really think Washington defense is gonna have an answer for Derrick Henry. Because here's the thing. I mean, Derrick Henry's gonna go off. He's gonna run over that defense, and Tannehill's gonna have a good. It's gonna dice them up. So yeah, I mean Robert Woods, he's gonna be in the lineup. Austin Hooper would, but I don't know about the rookie Traylon Burks. But they're gonna look pretty. They're gonna go off in this game. So yeah. So I believe the Titans are I think this game right here is gonna be a little bit closer than we expected to, but I got the Titans winning this game because the Titans. I just feel like they're just a more complete team, and I just think they have the better coach. So yeah. But I think I got the Titans winning, but I'm going to say Titans win. Like, I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, but it's not going to be pretty. It's probably going to get ugly. So I'm probably going to say the Titans win like 20-17. So I'm going to say the Titans win, but I'm going to take the Titans to cover. Because, I can't trust the Commanders to cover the spread in this game because I can't trust their defense. I can't trust the offense right now. And Ron Rivera and Jack Del Rio gotta go. I mean, they need to because I'm not picking them unless they fire these guys. So, yeah. And that's pretty much why. All right, next game. We have the Houston Texans versus Jacksonville Jaguars. Jaguars are favored by 7. I'm going to keep this one a little bit short, too, because here's the thing. The Texans, because I believe this game is really not going to be fun to watch, because here's the thing. Jacksonville is pretty much underrated this year. But they've been, I mean, their defense is doing a really good job, getting pressure and stopping the run, stopping the pass. Offense is starting to play really good, and Trevor Lawrence, he's been starting to look pretty good against tough defenses. I mean, they almost didn't look good versus the Eagles, like in the second half until the first quarter. They looked pretty good. But here's the thing. The Texans suck. I mean, there's no way the Texans are I mean, the Texans are not as good. I mean, they looked it pretty bad against that Charger defense. I mean, they can't stop. I mean, yeah, I mean, their offense can't even run the ball on them. They can't really pass the ball that well. Despite, Davis Mills sometimes been looking pretty good in some recent games. But the defense can't even stop the run, and they can't even stop the pass. I mean, yeah, some of their players are young. I mean, we get it, but yeah, but Jacksonville, I believe Jacksonville is going to win this game because the reason why Jacksonville will win because they're at home, they have the better quarterback, and I believe they have the better coach as well, and they're at home. So, yeah, I expect the Jags to have a good game plan. I mean, James Robinson's going to go off. Travis Etienne might go off. Christian Kirk might go off, and so is Evan Ingram. And some of the rest of the receivers might go off. I mean, Jacksonville's passing game is starting to get a lot better, and their running game's been starting to get a lot better. So, yeah, and plus, the game is going to be we know the game's in Jacksonville, and it's going to be sunny out there. And it's not going to be raining out there because if I say that, Trevor Lawrence will probably suck there in the rain. But when it's sunny, he'll look pretty good. So, yeah. So, I'm going to take the Jags to win, but I'll also take the Jags to cover. So, I just don't think the Texans are going to do enough to keep up with the Jags. So, I'm going to say the Jags win 24-13. So, yeah, give me the Jags to win and the Jags to cover. Next game, we have the San Francisco 49ers versus the Carolina Panthers. San Francisco 49ers -6. I'm going to keep this one a little short too because here's the thing. Now, I believe that I will say that this game right here is kind of interesting though, but I'm going to have to take the Niners in this game because I believe the Niners are just a more complete team. They have the better quarterback and the better coach. I mean, last week against the Rams, they did a really good job, on defense, getting pressure, stopping the run, and keep them out of the end zone almost the whole time. I mean, their defense played the pass really good, and the offense looked at really good pass blocking this spell. And Debo had a nice game, so was Kittle. So, yeah, but the reason I can't really trust the Panthers right now because, I mean, the Panthers suck. And, I kind of feel like Matt Rule needs to go because, I mean, his schemes are bad. I mean, he hasn't really had a good quarterback in like almost 4 years now. He had Teddy Bridgewater. I mean, when he entered in as a coach, because he had Cam Newton when he was a first-year head coach, which I don't really know if he did. He had like Teddy Bridgewater, then Sam Darnold, and then he started Cam Newton, and now he has Baker now. I mean, I just don't think Baker is that good. I mean, Baker is just not. I mean, he sucks. I mean, the offensive line is bad. They can't really pass the ball really good. I mean, DJ Moore seems like he's not willing to trust him. Neither Robbie I don't know about Robbie Anderson though, but CMC, Christian McCaffrey, I don't know if he can trust. I mean, he has a bad offensive line. The defense is pretty good, but they just play double headers like every game. Like every downs, they just like play double headers. Like if you don't know what double headers is, just like look it up. I mean, I can't really trust the Panthers. I mean, I can trust the Panthers defense a little bit, but not really much. So, yeah. I believe the Niners are going to go off in this game. Debo's going to go off. Kill's going to go off. I mean, and also the the defense, they're going to do a good job. Like they're going to do the same thing like they did last week. It's like stop the running game, get pressure, keep them on the end zone. So, yeah, stuff like that. So, I believe the Niners are going to win this game, and they'll easily cover. So, I say the Niners win like 31-16. So, yeah, giving the Niners to win and the Niners to cover. Next game, we have the Dallas Cowboys versus the LA Rams. Rams are -5. When I look at this game right here, I'm probably gonna say the Rams do win this game, but I will not take the Rams to cover because I can't really trust them right now. Because here's why. The Rams suck. I mean, they kind of really suck this year. I mean, the offense is getting absolutely washed because I don't even know who they have, like, anyone else as wide receiver besides Cooper Kupp, because all they're just doing, they're spamming the ball to Cooper Kupp because we already know because Cooper Kupp is like the best receiver in the game. Because he's getting spammed, and Tyler Higbee, he's getting screen passes, and Cam Akers, he's getting absolutely stuffed up the middle, and Robinson is getting absolutely washed, which he's not really getting the ball. But I found something on YouTube. When I looked up on YouTube and on Instagram that almost kind of made me puke. It made me puke because here's the thing. They're talking about asking about cutting Allen Robinson. I feel like they do because Allen Robinson is not catching the ball. Because all he's doing, he's getting like one reception like every game. Like every game he gets one reception and doesn't get more than one catch. McVay's going to have to work on scheming his players up. And then you got the defense with Aaron Donald, who's like penetrating the line. I mean, the defense, it's okay, but not great. I mean, their pass rush is kind of bad. I mean, I believe they can stop the run, I guess. And I believe the secondary can do a good job, locking down the receivers. I think Ramsey can do a good job locking down CeeDee Lamb. And then you got, I don't know about other players, but I think they got Troy. They brought back Troy Hill, which I think he can probably cover Michael Gallup. And then maybe, and I don't even know if they have any safety that can cover Dalton Schultz. So, yeah. And plus, I think the Cowboys' offensive line is a little overrated. And I think the Rams' defensive line can do a really good job. I think they can do a good job getting pressure and probably do a good job slowing down the Cowboys' rushing attack and slowing down their running game. So, yeah, I mean, the Cowboys are good. I believe they're a playoff team. And Dan Quinn, he's not going to be scared of Cam Akers because the Cowboys' defense might do a good job stopping the run and stopping the pass. But I want to go with the Cowboys here because they're playing good football. But I mean, if this game was in Dallas, I might say Dallas pulls out the upset. But I'm just going with the Rams because I believe the Rams are just a more complete team. They have the better coach. They have the better quarterback. They're at home, so yeah. And I just don't think the Cowboys, I don't think they're going to have an answer for Cooper Kupp. Because I think Cooper Kupp might go off and he might get spammed in this game, like I said. So, yeah. So I'm going to take the Rams to win, but I'll also take the Cowboys to cover. So I'm going to say, maybe Rams win like 26-23, something like that. Because I believe Dallas is going to hang around in this game. So, yeah. I mean, we understand Cooper Rush is playing better football, but I just don't think Dallas is going to do enough to win. So I'm going to take the Rams to win and also take the Cowboys to cover. And I'm hopefully Matthew Stafford has a good game this week. Next game, we have the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Arizona Cardinals. Philadelphia is favored by 5.5. I'm going to keep this one a little bit short because here's the thing. The Philadelphia Eagles, now I believe this game right here is going to be very fun to watch because we can't wait to see both young quarterbacks play. But I'm going to have to take the Eagles here because the Eagles are just way too dangerous right now. Their defense is playing really good. The offense is playing really good. Jalen Hurts is starting to ball out a little bit. He's balling out a lot. The Cardinals suck. their offense is line is overrated. The defense is completely bad. Like I just feel like it's gonna be a bad. I feel like the Eagles are a bad matchup for the Cardinals because the Cardinals can't even block anybody. They can't run the ball on anybody. But they was able to do a really good job against the Panthers, though. So yeah, I mean the Cardinals secondary is very atrocious. Like, who's gonna cover AJ Brown? Who's gonna cover Devontae Smith? Who's gonna cover Dallas Goedert? Like, who's gonna cover those guys? Like, nobody. Like, I mean, we understand the Cardinals secondary is very young, but it's unproven. So yeah, I believe the Eagles will win because they're just a more complete team. They have the better coach. I mean, yeah, and I just think they have the better quarterback. Like, I just think Jalen Hurts is better than Kyler Murray, in my opinion. So yeah, I mean, I understand it's in Arizona, but I just feel like the Eagles are just a more complete team. So yeah, so I'm gonna take the Eagles to win, but I'll also take the Eagles to cover because I can't trust the Cardinals covering this game, and I just don't think they're gonna do enough to keep up with the Eagles offense with the Eagles. So I'm going to say the Eagles win like 27-17, something like that, like a semi-blowout. So, yeah. So, give me the Eagles to win and Eagles to cover. Next game, we have the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Baltimore Ravens. Ravens are favored by -3. Now, I called it a trap game for some reason because it can go either way because both these two teams are like 2-2. Now, I believe last year the Bengals whooped them twice. So, yeah. So, we can definitely see it go either way. But I kind of really feel like the Ravens match up well with the Bengals on paper because here's the thing. Their pass rush is kind of okay, but not fantastic. But their secondary is very strong, though, because you got two of the best corners here. They got Marlon Humphrey and Marcus Peters, which I think they can cover Chase and Higgins in this game. And then you got one of the safeties and then you also, so yeah. Because the Bengals' offensive line is not as good as it used to be because it hasn't been playing really well. But they looked pretty good against the Dolphins last week. So, yeah, and also the Ravens, I mean, they were up by a lot of points versus the Bills. I mean, I like how the way the Ravens defense did it versus the Bills. They took a lead and then they blew it. So, yeah. So, I believe this game right here is going to be fun to watch, and I think it will be closer than people expect. But I wouldn't be shocked if it was a low-scoring game. Because I think both these two teams are good. Because it kind of sucks for me to say both these two teams will start 2-3 or 2-4, but no, both these two teams are good. So I think whoever wins is the division leader. So yeah. But here's the thing. I just don't know the Bengals offense is going to be able to move the ball against the Ravens defense. Because here's the thing. I think both of their offensive lines are kind of sketchy, but we can definitely see the Bengals giving the Ravens a lot of problems here. We can see them giving the Ravens defense and offense a tons of problems. But here's the thing. I just kind of feel like that, the Ravens receiving core is kind of like I feel like the Ravens receiving core is kind of bad right now because here's the thing. Bateman's not going to play, but you got Mark Andrews in the lineup. So I believe the Ravens receiving core is kind of bad a little bit. But I can definitely see the Bengals win because they have a better receiving core than them. But if this game is in Cincinnati, I might go with the Bengals here. But no, since it's in Baltimore, I think I'm leaning towards the Ravens to win this game because they're at home. So, yeah. And also have the better coach as well. And I think both these two teams are similar to each other. So, yeah. So, by the way, I say it could be a little bit of a high-scoring game here and there because I think the Bengals are going to try to hang around the game. But as long as Joe Burrow plays really good, I think they can hang around this game. And I just kind of feel like that the Ravens offense, and I kind of feel like both these two teams' defense might have a test here, but I don't know who the Ravens have in the lineup though. Like they don't have tons of weapons, but but you got Bateman, the only weapons you only got Bateman, and you only got Mark Andrews. I mean, Duvernay is okay, but he's not like a number 2 wide receiver. He's more like a number 3. So yeah. So I just kind of feel like the Bengals defense is gonna have a test here. So yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and just take the Ravens to win. In terms of the points, I'm gonna take I'll take the points with the Bengals. Because I think the Bengals are gonna try to hang around this game to keep it close, and I think it will be competitive. Like a shootout. So I think it will be a shootout as well. So I'm going to say the Ravens win like 31-26, something like that, like a 4-point game. So I'm going to take the Ravens to win and the Bengals to cover. Then last game, Monday night, we had the Las Vegas Raiders versus Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs are favored by 7. Now, this is a lot of points now. Now, I believe this game is going to be fun to watch because here's the thing. The Raiders did a really... Now, I feel like the Raiders did a really good job against the Broncos last week. Their defense played really outstanding. The offense looked really good. I mean, Derek Carr, he looked really well versus the Broncos. While the Chiefs, offense played very outstanding against the Bucs defense. Played out very outstanding. Their defense played really well. They kept them on the end zone. Mahomes was able to dice up the Bucs defense. I like how their offense did. They diced up the Bucs defense. Yeah. We can definitely see a game. We can definitely see this game definitely go either way. But here's the thing. Now the Raiders offense is very dynamic. Now Devontae Adams, Darren Waller, and Hunter Renfrow, those guys could be tough to cover in this game. So yeah, I don't really know if the Chiefs defense is going to be able to give an answer to one of them and be able to cover because I think Josh McDaniel, he can definitely, the Raiders offense can definitely spread them out. We can see them do that, but if long as Derek Carr plays really well, and then if they'll find a way to keep it close and hang around this game, and they might have a chance to win. But because if they can find a way to control the clock and keep Mahomes on the sideline, they'll probably win. But I just kind of really feel like when you look at the Chiefs, their defense is underrated right now. It's been playing better, but I just don't really know if they're going to be able to stop the Raiders offense. So yeah, but the Raiders defense, it's pretty good, but we can see them get the Chiefs offense touch a problem. But I just think Spagnuolo, now the Chiefs, they're not playing against Gus Bradley anymore. They're playing against a different coordinator right now. But Spagnuolo's, his defense been doing a good job, shutting down the Raiders offense for the past couple years. So yeah. Patrick Mahomes has been playing the Raiders pretty tough. He's been playing the Raiders tough a lot, so yeah. So yeah, if this game was in Las Vegas, I might lean towards the Raiders to win. But since it's in Kansas City, I'm going to take the Chiefs to win because I believe the Chiefs they're at home. And plus, I just don't think the Raiders' secondary is good enough. I just don't think their secondary is good enough. I don't think they have any corners or safety that they can cover the Chiefs receivers. I just believe the Chiefs' offense is going to spread them out. So yeah, I believe that Kelsey's going to have a good game. He's going to go off. Juju might go off. Valdez-Scantling might go off. So yeah. Most of their and Mecole Hardman too. So I believe most of their receiving trio will go off as well. And I believe their defense and I believe Spagnuolo is going to have a good game playing against the Raiders offense. So yeah. So I'm going to say take the Chiefs to win, but I will take the points though with the Raiders. But it will be close. So I'm going to say the Chiefs win 24-17. It's kind of more like a low-scoring game, or in a shootout, but not really quite. So I'm going to take the Raiders to. I'll take the Chiefs to win, but I'll take the Raiders to cover. So I believe they will control the clock in this game and keep Derek Carr on the sideline. So yeah. So I will say the Chiefs will win this game. I believe the Chiefs will pull it out, and Mahomes will have a field day. Well, all right, guys. Those are all my Week 5 predictions for this week. If you enjoy watching the video, I hope you guys enjoy watching this video. And don't forget to put the thumbs up. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. So, yeah. And also, if you disagree with me, just let me know in the comment section below what you think. Do you think some of them are right or some of them are wrong? So, yeah. But if I decide to change my prediction, I'll probably let you guys know. Well, this is Emmanuel Jones from a Big Fan. Thanks for watching. See you guys later. Peace.